Hey, how you doing? This is Hero with Coding with Strangers. I am at Afrotech speaking with
John Lloyd.
and we are at Warner Brothers Studios booth. What's the number one position you guys are hiring for right now?
So honestly, we have all sorts of openings. The biggest ones right now will probably be in the product world, as well as software engineers. And we're actually building up our machine learning as well and data platforms. So I would say those kind of some of the hot jobs that we're working on right now.
All right. And what's one thing you should never put on your resume?
Ooh, that's a good question. I want you to think of your resume as like a story, and you want to tell your story. So you want to make sure you highlight the good parts of your story. So if you had anything in your story that you wouldn't want to tell everybody, don't put that on your resume.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Hero. We're here with Coding with Strangers. We're at Afrotech speaking to
Faye.
Say it with your chest now.
Faye.
There we go. What's one thing you guys are looking for to hiring here at Google?
That is a very loaded question. At Google, I'm sure everybody's aware, but it is a huge company focused on many different aspects. So we are looking for everything under the sun. As you can imagine, we have different sectors. We have YouTube, we have cloud, a lot of focus in AI. So there are a lot of different avenues that you can take when you're applying at Google.
What's one thing you should never put on your resume?
Ooh, yes. Any unrelated work that doesn't speak to any skills to the job that you're applying for. One example would be when I was applying to entry-level positions out of college, I had a lot of barista experience. That was silly. It does not help me. It was unnecessary for me to put it.
And I am talking to.
Maya Walker from Morgan Stanley.
What do you do at Morgan Stanley?
I am a campus recruiter for the technology division. So basically I recruit our college students for our summer internship programs as well as our new grad full-time roles.
What's the number one position you guys are looking for right now?
Well, I would say for technology, we do recruit for 3 tracks, so application development, business data analytics, and enterprise engineering. But if we're speaking about the year 2024 right now, we're really looking for application developers as well as business data analysts.
What's one thing you should never put on your resume or say in an interview?
I would say on your resume, honestly, like if you're putting previous work experience that's not really relevant to the role that you're applying to, like we're speaking specifically to tech, I wouldn't recommend that you put that you were a barista at Starbucks because really we don't really see how that's going to apply to the role. And then in an interview, let's say if you're saying that you are proficient in a certain coding language, and then when you get into the interview and the interviewer is asking you to write a line of code, you're not able to produce a solution, that kind of makes it look as if you were dishonest on your resume. So I would just say make sure when completing your resume and doing an interview that you are being honest about your previous work experiences as well as your skill sets, and then just executing in the interview, like showing that what's relayed on your resume is what you can prove in the actual interview with the technologist.
Coding with Strangers, and we're here at Afrotech talking to
Jeremy Bradshaw with Audible.
What do you do?
I manage our early careers recruiting team, so we look to hire interns for our summer program when they are, between college semesters. So.
What's the number one position you are hiring for right now?
Yeah, so we hire for our intern program software developers, and then we'll have a few product managers as well as a few data science interns. So.
What's one thing you should never put on a resume or say in an interview?
Yeah, so I would say on a resume, you want to keep them brief. So many companies nowadays don't even take resumes, right? At this type of conference, there's not a lot of companies that are taking a paper resume because you're going to upload it into a system, and the recruiter is going to be looking at it and sharing it with other people. And so, the amount of information that you have, if you have several pages, most people aren't going to read that. So being as precise as you can is my advice. Obviously, you don't need to include pictures or personal information on a resume, I would say, is not necessary. Stick to what is needed for the role. So your education, your work history, and your skills are the best things.
We're here at Afrotech talking to.
David Lewis, I'm a pre-sales engineer with Smartsheet.
What's the number one position you guys are currently looking for?
Oh, we're looking for developers, product managers, project managers, salespeople, customer support specialists. We have a variety of roles available.
Excellent. What's one thing you should not put on your resume or do in an interview?
One thing you should not do on your interview is lie or exaggerate your experience. Always be honest about what you can and can't do. If there's something that you can't do, inform the interviewer of your potential to learn. It's always good to allow people and instruct people on what your potential is, because when you get a job, they're going to train you in what they need you to do. You want to make sure that they know that you're honest. People that lie on your resumes, you get exposed, and you get exposed very quickly, and that will never work out well for you. So don't lie.
Speaking to
Alexandria Pierce.
Alex, what do you do?
I am a recruiting coordinator for Planet.
What's the number one position you guys are looking for right now?
I would say a systems engineer or software engineer.
What's one thing you should never say or put on a resume?
You never want to, on a resume, maybe something super negative about why you left a company.
Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Hiro. We're here with Coding with Strangers. We're here at Afrotech speaking with.
Marfo. Sade.
And what is one position you are hiring for right now?
I would say algo engineer. Software engineer.
So what's something that you should put on your resume?
I think really highlight the experience that you had that relates to the job that you're applying to. So if you're applying to a software engineering job, really highlighting the projects you've done, whether in school or via your internships.
What's something you shouldn't put on your resume?
I would say to not use a lot of excess words. This is like you're applying for a technical role. This is an engineering role, so you want to highlight that you are a programmer. So making sure to kind of focus on the parts of your experience or background that kind of highlight the fact that you are an engineer instead of maybe like business or management or leadership and things like that.
At Afrotech, Coding with Strangers, we're at Live Nation speaking to
Christina.
Christina, what do you do?
So I am a senior recruiter on the Ticketmaster side.
What is the number one position you're hiring for right now?
So right now we're hiring for product managers.
So what's one thing you should never put on a resume?
One thing you should never put on a resume is your references. You're taking up a lot of space by doing that. Don't worry, the interviewer will ask if they need that, but don't put it on. Use that opportunity to add more experience.
Belle, hi.
Bill, what do you do?
I am a product recruiter at LinkedIn.
What's the number one position you feel that's going to be hot right now or in 2024?
AI engineering.
What's one thing you probably should put on a resume if you're trying to get a job?
Anything with internships you've done, projects you've worked on, anything that's entrepreneurial, anything AI related, you should be putting that on your LinkedIn.